Monday morning, time 10:15 a.m. I'm on my way to clinic now. I just had a meeting with a network of physios who I'm involved with, and one of the things we're talking about is the challenges of recruitment and how difficult the industry is at the moment. And it's really interesting to listen to the different methods and strategies that other companies have. And next Wednesday, I'm going to be part of a structured meeting with the network members all across the country, and we're going to talk about how we run our recruitment strategy. One of the things I'm going to share with them is how we do this video and what the purpose of it is for people to be able to look into us before thinking about joining us. But they spoke about other kind of programs that are going to run, such as internships or taking students on placement. And there's so many issues with them type of strategies, but it's going to be interesting to hear from them how they manage them, especially the patient expectations. When people are paying money to come and see a particular therapist, they want to see that therapist, and how would they feel if they're seeing people who are not yet qualified? And I know the importance of this. When I did my teaching degree, one of the things I had to do was work in a school. I taught lessons, the teacher would observe me. But the difference with that is people were not paying directly for that service. Within the NHS, you can get away with it as well because, again, people are not paying directly for that service out of their pocket, even though they are paying it in a roundabout way with taxes, but they don't see the physical transaction of handing over their card or handing over their cash at the point of service. And that's going to be a real tricky situation for us to manage, and one which I am keen to learn a little bit more about. But talking of recruitment, I'm going off to clinic now to meet with our clinic manager, Gemma. I've got to meet with Natasha, who does our accounts. We also have a potential a potential therapist coming to work with us. He wants to come and see the clinic and see how we operate. And then we'll go through to the next stages if he likes what he sees. But we also have to like what we see as well. It's all well and good people coming to have a look at how we work, but I'm interested as well as how he works. So I'm going to be going around there to meet him. I've got another meeting at 11:30 with the team who's hopefully going to be doing our marketing. Got some key things I need to speak to him about that as well. And then I have just general meetings throughout the day just to kind of get on top of the rest of the week. And make sure that things are running nice and smoothly. Just finished in clinic. I haven't seen any patients. I just went in for a meeting. And like I said, I met with a potential physio, and that all went really well, which is good. We're going to interview him next week. And he's going to go through the same standards and expectations that we have of everyone else. He's a band 7 physio, which means he's working at quite a high level within the NHS at the moment. And one of the things that we want to do is increase our advanced specialist team. So he would probably fit into that, all being well with his interview. So we've got that coming up. Also had a meeting with our accounts manager, who is Natasha, and Gemma, who does our operations. And one of the things that we're talking about is how we use the data that we have. And we seem to have improved over recent weeks with our reporting of data. But what is equally important is how we then use the data to make improvements or give reasoning. For example, last week our new patient count was down. And it's easy just to automatically assume that the reason it's down is because we had a bank holiday and that's why. But then I want us to look back at historical data to see, okay, for the Monday, which was the bank holiday, how we usually set for that week, as in like how many new patients do we normally get? Are we seeing patterns? Is that why we were down? Or is there something else? Because we changed some of the aspects of our marketing. And I am wondering if it was something to do with that or not. But without actually doing an in-depth analysis of everything, it's quite difficult to know what that reason was. So I want to be better at doing that, because that then helps determine and shape how we move forwards with future strategy. So yeah, there was that there happening. I'm now on my way back to, I'm gonna have a bit of food first. And I am probably going to do a quick meeting with Gemma just to go over some of the other numbers from last week, how I want the team to be thinking about how we analyze things. I then need to work on our application to CQC. We are just finalizing the last parts of that. I've got a meeting at 5 o'clock today, which is a property investing meeting where I talk to a networking group of people about some of the challenges that they're facing. It's really useful to kind of soundboard with them because I've got some of my own issues, more than just my own personal issues, but some business issues which I am trying to resolve in the best financial way possible, because at the moment there's going to be a slight hit with that, but it doesn't matter too much. It's a long-term investment, so I don't mind on that side of things, but it's just more about how we cash flow it, how we keep the project moving, and how we can go on to the next project, and we don't use this one which kind of holds us back by 2 or 3 months. So yeah, that's where everything is at the moment, and I'll keep you updated with how we're doing. Been kicked out of the office. Gemma is on a call with our clinic manager Amanda, but I've also been kicked out because I keep chipping in and interrupting with their meeting with my bits of feedback, so I'm trying to let them get on with it. I've been working on our CQC application. It should be all set. I just found out that using Claude, how much better it is compared to Gemini and ChatGPT. So I'm using Claude, that's gone through it. It's given me some good tips and really fine tune the application to make sure that it's all consistent. So that should be ready to be sent off. We're just waiting for a couple more things to come through. So I'm excited for that. We should hear in the next few months, I hope, but that will enable us to promote the GP services better. I have a meeting with the GP on Wednesday to go through some final things for it and just kind of clarify how we're going to run the existing services that she's going to be offering. I'm now off to the gym, and then I've got my meeting at 5 o'clock. Tuesday morning, everyone. I'm at my house at the moment. I'm just waiting to go on my home visits. But the reason why I am talking now is I've just done the school run and dropped off the kids. I've got home visits for the rest of today as things stand. Now, I've also then got a couple of that with some meetings in between. So I've got a meeting with our assistant manager, Marco. He is going to be going through our new platform and trying to update and get that ready so that everyone within the clinic can start using it. So I'm trying to think of how we're gonna kind of incorporate that into what we're doing, which is creating difficulties for me at the moment to work out the easiest and smoothest way to do it. So I've got to work out that. We also have our marketing person coming on at the end of May. They're going to start. And that too is creating some havoc with my head because I'm trying to think of the plan of what I wanted to do, but it's finding time to sit down and actually work out exactly what they should be doing. I've got this problem at the moment where I'm trying to think about how the business structure should be with, if I'm sitting at the top and I am trying to filter down the message towards everyone. As I'm filtering it down, I'm realizing that there's not enough people in the positions to do the jobs that I want to happen. So I end up filtering it down and then thinking, right, there's no one there to do that particular job. I then end up doing that job from an operational perspective. And then I have all the pressures of what's happening with the other things as well and making sure that they're all being done to the standard that I want. And I don't mean that standard of like of higher levels, but it's like this is what I want it all to look like. And I need to reflect, I think, is my message clear enough to get people to do the way that I want it to be done? So yeah, so I've got this constant thing in my head, which is really, really hard to overcome. And trying to figure out the best way. But it makes me realize if we just need more staff. But the problem with more staff is more overheads. More overheads leads to more costs and we need more business, etc., etc. But that's where I should be focusing my time still. And it keeps coming back to it. Like my time should be focused on how we get new people into the business and how we market ourselves as being the leader that's around. And I believe that we are the leader. But I need to get out there and say it more. I find myself stuck behind a computer too much, where I'm looking at the strategy of what we do and not making enough action to change it. So yeah, I'm hoping that come end of May when we have James on board, who's going to be working with us in the marketing side of things, that I can deliver the instructions. He can then start focusing on that, and it gives me the time to focus on the thing that I need to do. Tuesday afternoon, I'm on my way to our Colindale clinic. I've got evening clinic over there. I've been doing home visits for most of the day. I've just finished my home visit service slot. Now I've got my clinic slot. So I've got a low back pain patient coming in, and then I actually just have a sports massage with a gym goer. Thoughts for the day at the moment is the person I've just seen there. They had a fall about 3 months ago, probably 4 months ago now actually. Split their head open in the bathroom, and then they were in hospital for 3 months, and they got discharged. And upon discharge, they simply got discharged because they were running out of bed space, and the level of physio input was quite minimal. I'm not going to use the word poor because that's unfair, but it was quite minimal with what occurred. And so what's happening now is I am going in there twice a week to help with getting them mobile and back to their normal self again, and their carers are going in there. But it does raise a really, really important thing about the level of support that the population get at the moment. And I'm not going to try and get political with this, but they were told that they would have ongoing physio support for at least 3 months, and it has been 9 weeks since they were discharged from hospital. And how many visits do you think they've had to date so far? Well, the obvious answer is none. So they haven't even had a reach out from them. I don't think they've even had the OT, who's the occupational therapist, come around to do an assessment of the home environment at the moment. But it just shows that how difficult it is for people in community care to actually get access to community care, and where we as a private healthcare service come in and fill in them blocks. And links in slightly with the residential project that I've got happening at the moment. So I have been trying to get in touch with the building control of the council that I'm working with, and it is impossible. But the second I go to a private firm, it is immediate. I spoke to him the other day. I got a call back within 20 minutes, I think, with an update on one of the issues that I was having. And so this whole paying for private is actually a evident thing in every single service that exists out there. And if you rely on the government services, you're probably going to be quite disappointed with the outcomes. And it's our job as service provider to make sure that we do meet the demands of what's out there, and just exceed every type of expectation that they have, which is what we're really, really hoping to do with this home service thing. But we're also trying to apply that in clinic as well. So yeah, that is my thought for the day, and how we as a business should be really trying to maximize that opportunity. And it sounds harsh because people are deserving of the care from the NHS, but they just can't service it. And we almost are in direct competition with the NHS, even from a recruitment strategy. I see some of the salaries that they offer for NHS staff at the moment, and it's crazy how they can justify them prices for the service, or sorry, them salary bands for the service that they are doing at the moment. Given the fact that there is a reduction in spending on it all. Anyway, I'm going off and off, but we as a private healthcare clinic, we need to make sure that we are exceeding what is readily available out there, and that is certainly what my headspace is trying to manage a lot at the moment. I've just got into our Colindale clinic. I'm going to give you a quick little tour around so you can see what we have here. I don't know if I've done this before, so I'll give you a quick little insight. So here we go. This is treatment room number 1. We've got the plant over there offering us some wonderful ambience. We have our products which we sell. Treatment table. Now this treatment table is a joke at the moment. We need to get this changed, and we've got the pads ready to go. We just need to get them in and changed over. We have our skeleton, which is facing the other way, looking a little bit shy at the moment. Obviously my computer desk over there. So yeah, that is the Colindale treatment room number 1. We have another room which is on the other side of it, but it's in occupation at the moment, so I can't go in and show you it. But yeah, I'll give you a tour around the gym.
Big God, big God, big God, big God. SpongeBob, big God, pencil kit. SpongeBob, big God, pencil kit. Big God, big God, big God, big God. SpongeBob, big God, pencil kit. SpongeBob, big God, pencil kit. When I wake up, I'm feeling my S. I bend over, I do my little stretch. Ain't no jellyfish, but I'm the catch. Feel like that fish, so I'm puffing my chest. I blow bubbles so big like Mrs. Puff. I be locked in like no, this isn't locked. Ain't fancy like no, this isn't chump. With my bestie like everything fun. Big God, big God, big God, big God. SpongeBob, big God, pencil kit. SpongeBob, big God, pencil kit. Big God, big God, big God, big God. SpongeBob, big God, pencil kit. SpongeBob, big God, pencil kit. Big things bout to happen today. I woke up feeling a brand new way. Fixing the world in a brand new way. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Take this square hips, doing a get to my big guy pants. The baddest, the top of the list I am. And on my purse, they came fresh out of clamp. Big guy, big guy, big guy, big guy. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. SpongeBob, big guy, pants okay. Big guy, big guy, big guy.
Right, just got out of clinic. I'm sitting here in the car park where I have received multiple car parking tickets from the parking company, whoever you are. I am so annoyed with this situation. I've had another appeal overturned today because of lack of evidence that I don't work here or something like that. When we have been working here for years and years and years, however many years, 2 years, 2.5 years, whatever it is, but due to a change in number plate situation and due to us telling the people who run this place as the concierge of what happened and their failure to pass it on to the parking company, we are now fighting a parking ticket battle over the fact that I appealed my parking fine too quickly compared to the other physio workers who had exactly the same thing, but we actually reached out to them later and said, oh, by the way, can you actually remove this? And they said, yeah, of course they'll remove it. But because we went directly to the appeal people and they overturned it because they didn't have enough evidence, the parking company said, because you've gone there, we can't overturn it. So I went to them people and I asked them, are you the law? And they said to me, we're not the law. They can overturn it if they want to. And what do you think they've done so far? They have done nothing at the moment. They haven't overturned anything. They've left it sitting as it is. And now I'm still trying to fight paying 3 parking tickets for parking here while I was at work. Honestly, I can't wait for this to go beyond what it is at the moment because there's no way I'm paying this parking ticket and I can't see how any common sense judge is actually going to look at that and think, yeah, no, that's fair, what's happened here? So yeah, it's just a long drawn out battle which ultimately I'm confident of what the outcome's going to be. Wednesday morning, I'm in the car, I'm on my way to our Whetstone clinic. We've got our monthly P&L review today. We have a weekly meeting anyway every Wednesday with the clinic managers, but today we actually go through the first part with the finances, how we're doing as a company. Now, as a healthcare business, it's deemed as controversial to talk about it because everyone believes that, well, we shouldn't be salespeople and things like that, and we totally get that, and we're not ever salespeople. All we're ever doing is advising people what is best for their health. And with it comes a cost with it, unfortunately. And it's the same with any business anywhere. There's always a cost associated with it. And at the end of the day, we are a business. Yes, we're in the healthcare industry, but knowing what our numbers are is the thing that determines how we grow, how we scale, how we can pay better, how we can get better people on board, how we can get more people on board, understanding where we actually have money and finance available to do exactly that is a real key thing, and what we need to understand with these P&Ls and how we're looking at it. We'll have to look at things like our merchant service fees. That some of the times we can spend over almost £1,000 sometimes just in fees, which are for card payments, whether they be online or via our in-house card system. So trying to look at ways that we can better save on that is really, really important for us to dig deep down onto, or dig deep down into the words I was trying to say for that bit there. But yeah, we're going to use this time here to try and be better with our decision making and not just so overview of it. And by that, what I mean is we're very good at saying what it is that we've done, and so we can now show that. But what is the real test and measure of successful businesses? Like how and why it needs to change. So why it needs to change and how we're going to change it, and that's the most important thing. And if you can work out the how bit, then things become much easier, smoother. But it's also getting the rest of the team to see the benefits of why we need to be measuring these things. So I've got that happening today. We've then got an interview later on. Like again, we're doing interviews all the time with people. So that's really, really good news. We've still got 2 other good interview candidates coming up, both who are physios. So we're going to be getting them through the process and system soon. One of them actually came from a recommendation from a physio who works for us, which is fantastic. So our physios will sometimes recommend us as a place to work, and we'll then go and share that with their network, and then they'll reach out to say that they're interested in working with us. Have we got any opportunities? And we go from that bit there. We've also had two other applicants is the wrong word. We've had two people in a different industry to what we currently operate in who've approached us about renting a room with us to operate their business out. So I'm going to try and give them a call today and speak to them. But it actually ties in with a vision of our own that we've got of different services and different industries that we want to eventually branch out into. But at the moment, I'm slightly hesitant to do it because it's a field where I don't know a lot about, but we are also, whilst we're going through things like CQC, bringing on the GP services, whilst we're trying to grow the podiatry services, whilst we're trying to grow the physio services, taking on another out of current industry service, which ties in with what we're doing, it feels just a little bit high risk at the moment, and I don't want to put myself through that pressure of having to try and grow that side of things. I'd rather find a ready-made established person within that field who can come on and start developing that side of it with their skills and expertise. So that's what the reason for them two phone calls later on is. But listen, we're always looking for different ventures that we can add into the existing kind of network of what we do. And my job as well is to still keep reaching out to try and find them. So I'll be doing some of that throughout the week as well. We're here to do our meeting. Amanda's going to join us online. Tash is going to be telling us all the good news of how fantastically well everything's going. So we're all excited, and you can just sense the excitement in the room just with the, look at this.
We need to add Amanda to this as well.
I know.
Do you want to take charge of that?
What a place to work, everyone.
I can.
Really bringing my energy vibes down, everyone.
Huh?
You're all bringing my energy vibes down.
We're anticipating your kind of
happiness, and we're going to listen, and we're going to, and off of that, on that note, we will close this down. Thank you very much. Wednesday afternoon, everyone. We just got back from the meeting earlier where we discussed P&L. So I'm going to give you a quick update on that. As things stand as a business, our revenue is on track, which is great news. We've got some big target numbers coming up in future months, so we're going to make sure that we're growing the business in line with that. The profit as well is in line with where we want it to be. It could be better, but we're heavily reinvesting at the moment, so there might be a slight lag with that. And the good thing is we're doing everything ethically at the moment, so that's super important to me. We also discussed loads of other things about recruitment. We've got a good physio who is joining us very, very soon, should be mid-June. And what we're talking about is how we place them so that we don't disrupt the balance of what we have at the moment with the existing physios, and ensuring that they stay busy and ensure that they get the opportunity to showcase their skill set to those existing patients and future patients. So trying to manage that and where we put them. We also discussed the changes that are coming with regards to our marketing strategy. We've got a new marketing team member joining us in June, and how we're going to maximize the opportunity that is potentially there with him coming on. That's a big role that I need to play in that, but I'm just talking about how I need the assistance and help of everyone else. Talking of other roles, we were meant to do a interview today, but that has had to be cancelled, unfortunately. The trouble is we now are struggling to fit that interview in anytime soon. So they cancelled it, but because of how busy we are with appointments and other things that are happening, we are struggling to find another time to put that in. So we're not sure what's going to happen with that in a moment and when that will occur, but I will let you know. I'm about to jump on to do our weekly update, which I share with all the staff of where we're at as a business, to give them an oversight from what I'm looking at, because within the meetings at the moment, there was a lot of individual conversations about the specific clinics, and I'm able to give a bigger overview of how we are doing as a clinic overall, especially with the P&L win. So I'll share that with everyone so they can see what is happening there. I am at a network meeting later on this evening. I go to it. I try and go once a month minimum. I'd like to go twice. I go once every 3 months. I'd like to go twice every 3 months. So it happens once a month. And yeah, it's a great opportunity to meet other business owners and share stories. And stories not so much in the what we do day to day, but how they resolve the problems that they face. Because we all have similar problems. I said it before. And it's interesting to listen to what they have to say about how they overcome them. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And then that should take me through to tomorrow. And then obviously tomorrow I've got other things to be sorting out. I'm away on Friday. So tomorrow's going to be a busy day, just clearing everything up. So when I am away, I don't have to think about this computer screen and that computer screen especially. Okay, so I'm going to jump on and do my weekly update now. And we will chop up what you need to hear. And this has to be the goal for every single person who ever comes and sees us. If we get this bit right, then everything else will take care of itself. There'll be nothing for us to barely talk to you about, because we would achieve what the ultimate goal is. Everybody has a huge part to play in this, and we must make sure that we are on top of that all the time, because that is the thing that creates a longevity of us as a business. The word healthcare, we are trying to branch out into as many services as we possibly can, but this really important. This can't come at the expense of providing good healthcare. The bigger the service grows and the more we offer, there is the risk that we start just becoming a jack of all trades, a master of none. And I want us to make sure that we're always a master of everything that we do. I'm going to come straight over here about the culture. So what we're looking for is ownership, accountability, and responsibility for everything that we do. I want us to look deeply at what's going on there and do some self-reflecting ourselves as to where may our contribution to this be coming from. Think about where is your influence on this, because ultimately the success or failure of this clinic rests with all of us. So this is a profit loss count. We're tracking this much more carefully now, and I openly share this because I want you all to be aware of how we're doing as a clinic, and when the changes can happen and what we do with the cash that comes into the clinic, how we reinvest it, and what the aim of it all is. All that will happen is we'll just keep spending. This here will get lower. And then I am not in a position where we can then reward. Right, end of update there. I genuinely hope that by sharing as much as I possibly can, that people will like it. And I don't mean like it as in click a button like, but I don't want to use the word appreciate, because that then sounds like I'm being egotistical, as in they appreciate me doing it. But I need everyone to understand what's going on, because the more that people understand, the more they're aware, the more they can see how their contribution influences the overall outcome. So yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, all of this transparency and openness will bear good fruits in the end. Thursday afternoon, it's 3:15. I haven't had a chance to do any filming today because I have been super busy, I promise. So what happened? Today I have been looking at our LinkedIn stuff to see how we can better improve our recruitment strategy. And I've got a call in a minute with a recruitment consultant to talk to them about what we could do differently, how we might be able to work with them. So I'm quite looking forward to that meeting. I had a meeting earlier on around about 1:00 today, which was with a company who provide AI solutions, which would sync in really nicely with our new platform that we're going to be transferring to. So just trying to kind of get ahead of the game a little bit with setting things up prior to us going live with all the new changes, rather than waiting for the change to happen and then having to think about how we tie things in. So I want everything to kind of be starting from afresh, and using what I've learned in the past for how best to implement and set things up, rather than just kind of rushing it through within a week and then trying to go live and have everyone struggling to cope with what the new system is. So yeah, that was a really positive thing, and it's powerful how AI is influencing what we do and how we can work with it, and it's going to mean changes within the company, unfortunately, where long term what people's roles are and how they carry them out is gonna alter slightly, and I don't think it's gonna come anytime soon, but I certainly think for the future, I reckon in 3-4 years time, the whole way that we operate with the use of AI, especially from an admin perspective, it is going to be very different. But it will never take away the fact that dealing face-to-face with humans is super, super important. And we need to keep that human element, but it's how we use AI to support us in other aspects of the business where we may not necessarily need to spend out on somebody doing a manual task for us, and whereas we could use that, which would cover quite a wide variety of different things and free up the admin team to be better at, well, better at is the wrong word to use, but have more time to do things better. Because there's so many things for them to do that it becomes such a mad rush, and sometimes we might fall short of the standards that we want. So yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that plays out. I've got a trial period coming up with them very shortly, but we've got to get our platform set up first, and that's where I need to go and speak to our admin team to find out where they're at with that. What I'm doing now, I'm actually going away tomorrow, so I'm not back until Monday next week. So tonight is my editing time. I've got to do some editing of the videos. I currently do all the editing, so yeah, if you're looking at them and thinking that they're a bit ropey, you know who to blame. I just need to do some final things for the accountants, clear up my emails, and then I haven't got to really worry about these things when I'm away. There's going to be stuff that crops up. I know there is. But yeah, it is what it is, and that is the stresses of having your own business. I know that I'm going to be having a phone call tomorrow at 8 a.m. when I'll be at the airport, but that was already pre-arranged and I can't change it because it's actually quite important for me to get sorted before Monday when something else is happening. So I need to get that phone call done in order to prep the preparation done for Monday so that they can crack on with their side of things as well. So yeah, all go. But hopefully I get a little bit of a break when I'm away.